Hey Aries, welcome to your May/June, a little bit of May, mostly June, general 2018 tarot reading. So I know that you didn't get your messages earlier in the month, and I'm super sorry about that. I have to say, I feel that the reason some of you really vibe with me is because I am living the things I am talking about, and therefore sometimes the energies really take me under. I have been through some extreme difficulties in May, including moving home multiple times. And, I just had to be there for myself. So please, Aries, don't take it personally, okay? It's not a lack of love on my part. If anything, it's like giving love to me. But because it's late, obviously you're getting your June messages the earliest, but in this reading I'm going to give you a bit of a full moon message, and we're going to look at kind of what you've been going through spiritually, what you've been learning over May, and then I'll do your June messages. So you'll get a little bit of an extended reading to make up for having missed out on me. Obviously, if things are happening, you vibe with my messages and you just need that one-to-one support. Even when I'm not doing YouTube messages, I am always working one-on-one with clients, and you can get a reading with me at nicoleblack.com/services. I do MP3 readings, I do video call readings, and I do in-person readings for those of you based in London. So my international clients, you can use one of my other services, and I'm here for you, basically. Anything else? I have started doing Instagram daily reads. They're a little sporadic at the moment just because I'm balancing out my personal energies, but when I feel called to, I've been doing them, and it's been really powerful. And so you can find those at Leona Nicole Black. I did a little message for the Sagittarius full moon, and it was really powerful for me to write, and it seemed to really vibe with people, so you can definitely go look at that. That will be posted on the May 29th. So anything else? Thank you so much for supporting me, for following Aries, for being patient with me. I know that's not your strong suit, but I appreciate it. For liking, sharing, subscribing. Like, it means a lot to me. Really, really, really does. I love this work, and so I love having a community of people that I can come to and do this with. Like, you make it worth it, so thank you. Let's get into your messages. Sorry, just wanted to tuck this hair under. So starting with Aries, your full moon card. You've got here the Truce card as your first card. This has been coming up in some of the daily messages that I've been doing. The Truce card is Four of Swords, and you have quite a lot of wands and swords in your reading anyway. The Truce card here, Aries, is not, I don't feel like it's the energy of peace. It's not asking you to be peaceful. That's not what it is. But it's asking, trying to find the right words to express this energy, because it also isn't temperance, or it would be the temperance card, I suppose. It's not a Libra energy. Remembering that Libra is your polar opposite. I feel like it's even not surrender. Surrender's not the right word for it. Okay, here we go. So when I was meditating and just praying before I started your reading, I was really asking Spirit, knowing that you're the warrior archetype, please give me the right messages to support you in expressing your energy in the best way possible. And then here comes the Truce card as the full moon energy. So I want you to think of it in terms of war, okay? So if people go to war against each other, or any kind of battle, and they call it truce, it does not mean that they didn't thought their war was just. It doesn't mean that they got what they needed out of the situation. It doesn't even mean the issues are resolved. It means they will not fight anymore. Maybe for a time being. I play certain strategy games, and sometimes, like, when another nation asks you for truce, it's for 30 turns or whatever, so you can't go to war with them for 30 turns. But who knows, after the 30 they might strike out against you. They might take that 30 in order to kind of re-up on arms and come after you again. But for you, the Truce card, therefore, is calling it quits to where you're warring in your life right now. Not because your war isn't just, not because you're not right in fighting for the things that you want to. It's more of a strategic pause. That's what the Spirit's asking you for, yes. Because this is coming through really clearly in the rest of your readings. So keep that in mind. The full moon in Sagittarius is asking you to take a strategic pause. Sagittarius is an expansive energy. It is about taking territory. It is about higher knowledge, higher learning, going out into the world, testing your beliefs, all of that stuff. But before you go advancing forward, Spirit is saying, hey, hey, take a strategic pause, okay? It's almost like don't show your hands, I'm feeling. If you've got certain cards you're playing your cards right, you've got certain things lined up for you, Spirit's like, I don't want you talking about it. I don't want you, like, just hush for a minute. Just wait for things to align a little better. Like, it's not the right time. It's a strategic pause before your expansion. Full moons are releases. So you're releasing something in this pause. Like, I'm going to get into your messages. Let me stop talking about the pause. I'm going to get into the message, but I want you to know that this is what the full moon is representing for you. Now, you have the Two of Cups in the middle of, so I pulled ultimately 5 cards that represent what you've been learning through May. And the middle card was the Two of Cups here. Beautiful in this deck. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, Two of Cups we recognize as representing mutual love, giving and receiving, balance, harmony of the heart, coming together with two people. But it doesn't have to just be intimate, romantic people you are having sex with or building a life with. Not just that. What I'm feeling for your reading of this Two of Swords can be anything that you're trying to bring into closer harmony with you. So this could relate to environment, this could relate to relationships, could relate to friendships, kids, whatever. It's about wanting to bring harmony, closeness, connection, equality into those relationships. And you want this, Libra. Sorry, I just did the Libra reading. Aries, apologies. You want this, Aries. You want this. You want it. Your passions have been ignited recently. But what I'm seeing is that you've got the 6 here. Science card, 6 of Swords. This is you calculating a clear path forward. This is you know that meme on the internet, it's got the white lady with the blonde hair and she's doing all the calculations. That's how I'm seeing you. You're doing all the calculating. You're wondering, okay, how do I move out of this? How do I, because there is an energy of wanting to break free and move on to something else, and you're going, okay, where's my escape route is what I feel. Where do I go? How do I navigate? How do I maneuver? All of this is going on. And it's because the Ace of Wands has been lit underneath you in May. New passion, vitality. You're like, oh, I want something. Something is alive in you that you're like, I want to go after this thing. I want something else. Something's caught my attention. There's an idea I have. There's a person that I want. There's a situation I want to heal, but I feel motivated. I feel ignited right now. You feel really ignited. Ace of Wands here. Fire sign energy. Perfect for Aries. And yet, on the other side of this Two of Cups, 2 tens, and I want you to see them together. Oppression and ruin on both of these sides. See all the fire behind them? They're swords and wands, but you've got fire in both of these cards. What I'm feeling, 10 here, remember 10 represents completion and ending, but not, 9 is coming towards an ending, things rounding out, but 10 is a closing of that chapter. 10 also being, when you reduce it, a 1, a new beginning. So it's that doorway. What I'm feeling for you here with these cards, Aries, ruin and oppression. I feel like this full moon and this cycle in your life, and what May has been doing, has been trying to pump the brakes, because I feel like you're expanding too far, too fast, too quickly outward, and you are on the brink of ruin and oppression. You are running away from oppression. You're running away from the places in your life where you feel trapped, where you feel burdened, like you don't want it. You don't want the responsibility. You don't want to have to carry other people. You don't want it. You want freedom to think about yourself and to do you and you only. And so you're even like, I'm breaking away, I'm calculating, I'm leaving, I feel ignited, I'm moving on. And then you have 10 of Swords here, ruin, which is actually, this card is often about the fear of ruin, but with you, I feel like it's running in the direction of ruin. Like you don't see on the other side the flames that you're actually going towards. Now, for some of you, the Two of Cups as negotiating these energies is saying that you're in partnerships or relationships with people in which you feel trapped, you feel burdened down, and you feel like they're on the path to ruin for you, either devastating you financially, decimating you emotionally, or spiritually holding you back, you know, in their energy, like almost like an energy of like possession, or muddying you or sullying your vibration. You're feeling stuck, really stuck, and it's almost like, I feel, you know, the startled horse that just like takes off running. That's what the Truth card is asking of you right now. It's saying don't just jolt away at the moment, because the Sagittarius full moon is bringing you that route to expansion, that way forward, but you have to kind of like wait to see the right path. You've got to hold your horses, literally rein them in at the moment. Now, for some people, this is because you want to get out of something. For some of you, it's because you're running towards something that you think you really want, and you don't see what's underneath that thing. It only appears good, it only appears beautiful, it only appears as the thing that you want, but underneath it is oppression and ruin. And Spirit is like, breaks at the moment. Break, 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 Aries, break. That's what May's been about you, for you pumping the brakes. So if you've been pushing forward in different directions, if you've been trying to get things done and it's not working, it's not a curse, it's not an obstruction, or it is, but it's an obstruction in your blessing. It's to stop you going over the edge, and that comes up in your next set of cards. Let me move on and we can talk about it. Your energy, who you're showing up as in June, 5 of Cups in reverse. You're leaving some stuff behind, Aries. You're leaving behind the grief, the sorrow, the lack of movement. You're leaving behind the part of you that was disempowered. Like, this is not great energy for Aries. Now, truthfully, it's not a great energy for any sign, but with you, like, let's say, take for example the water signs. You know, the water signs, this isn't good for them, but they can use this, they can use it, they can turn it into gold. Like, in some ways they even need to do this in order to move forward and heal. Like, this is a process of transmutation for them. They have to go through this grief cycle. This is how they churn out, you know, clear out their emotions. But for you, being fire, this is really kind of one of the worst kind of energies you can be in, because it's like losing your zest, your power, losing your core self, and not being able to reignite, no movement, lackluster. This can be a form of depression for Aries, but in reverse, you're moving on from that energy, you're releasing it. And maybe it's lingering a little bit, but you're definitely releasing it in June, definitely seeing horizons open, definitely focusing on moving forward. Because I pulled clarifiers, or, you know, the next part of the reading is what's the context for that card. You get the 3 of Wands in reverse here, which is that you're not prepared to just wait around anymore. You're not prepared to wait and linger in the current situation. You're not prepared to just see if it will change. You're not prepared to just see if things are going to come to you. You actually had the Knight of Wands. This is fantastic for the full moon in Sagittarius. This is you. This is Sagittarius energy. This is you expanding forward, going in pursuit of things, you know, racing away. Like, and what do you have? The Ace of Wands again in the next deck. So yes, like, passion ignited, truth showing up in your life, having a dream, a concept, a vision of some kind that's like, yes, I want to move in this direction, I want to create. And yet you have, as you're charging forward away from the grief cycle and away from where you feel trapped, the Fool in reverse. And what I feel for you in June is this is, be careful, Aries, that you don't go running over the edge, okay? This is not the positive side of the Fool card. This is becoming a fool, because you ran in this direction and didn't see that you were getting to a gutter or a gully. You didn't see it. And this is you going bang over the edge towards ruin and destruction. This is why you've got the Truth card. It's saying you can move forward, but you need the pathway to be calculated better. You need to wait until you can see a little further ahead than you can right now. I asked, what are your spiritual lessons for June? What is June here to teach you and show you about this Truth energy? King of Pentacles. Aries, you've established some things or are working to establish some things. This is very much Taurus energy for me. Can be Capricorn too. Less so Virgo, I feel, but Taurus or Capricorn. But I'm going to go with Taurus particularly because we've just rounded out Taurus season. You've worked on things, you've established things, you've invested in things, you've created things, okay? Things in the world that you've established that are good for you, that make you feel secure, that you're like, yes, yes, yes. And yet, because you don't feel comfortable where you are, you're prepared to run off and leave them right now. You're like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Spirit's like, no, there are things in your environment that you've established that are good for you, that you need. Okay, commitments that you have where you are that aren't burdens, but are about growing and enhancing you. Page of Pentacles on a soul level is no, Aries, don't just go and start something else. Don't just go and try to invest and take this pentacle and grow something else from scratch. The spiritual lesson is mature, invest, create, and continue to grow what exists in your life already. Some of you, this is a relationship that you cannot go running from right now. It's like, yes, there's a challenge. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, you're arguing, but you need to stay, go the distance, stand your ground, call a truce right now. Stop worrying. Like, if you can't see eye to eye, stop trying. Just call a truce. Just be like, do you know what? We're not seeing the same things at the moment. Let's just, let's just take some space. Let's just give it some time. If you live together, it's just like, okay, it's okay. Okay, let's revisit it. Let's give each other some time. Let's talk about this again in 2 weeks, excuse me. Let's let things settle for a while. Doesn't mean not talk to the person at all. It's just like, let's just give it some breathing space. Let's see if we feel differently with time, okay? That's like part of it. For some of you, it's a business thing. And you're trying to like, okay, let's abandon this. Let's move on. Let's just do something else. And it's like, no, you've established something really worthwhile here. Don't just go trying to start some other idea or venture. Stick with this one. 7 of Wands, the effort is required right now. Staying power, okay? You've got earth and fire, staying power and effort. The passion that you feel, the desire to fly and flee, put it into what's working, redirect it. Fight for what you want and what you believe in right now. But do that without fighting other people, Aries. Fight for the thing you want by putting the effort in and putting the attention and putting the energy in. If it's like, okay, I feel for the fire signs particularly, or those ruled by Mars, like physicality is important. If it's that that you've been off with exercise and stuff and your life is feeling a little out of balance and you've been in this grief energy, instead of fighting the people around you, fight to get back into a physical routine. Like, fight to discipline your body. Fight to control that element of yourself. Fight to be that warrior, okay? Whatever it is, it's like, just take that energy and use it for yourself. You've got the Strength card in reverse here. This again is the Taming in reverse. It's like, you have passions and you're supposed to. You're supposed to be passionate. You're supposed to be driven by that fire inside, but also by intuition. And right now, what happens with you is you get that fire gets lit and you just go. You just go after the thing that you're seeking, that you're wanting. You're like, I'm just gonna, like how sexual energy can really take you over. Have you ever, like, for example, been really turned on, like sent a certain kind of communication to someone you're really feeling, and then like once that energy passes, be kind of like, oh damn, I can't believe I said that. It's like it's a thing that almost possesses you. When you're really in that sexual energy, that sexual trance, like, just gone. Like, a whole you comes out, a whole different energy. And that's part of it. Remember, sexual energy is creative energy. And so what happens with you is when you get this fire lit, it's almost like you go into a trance and you go and you just go. And it's like, no, hold it. Rein it in, okay? Redirect that energy right now, because if you don't, you're going over the cliff edge. You're going towards oppression and ruin for yourself. Now, if you've already gone over the cliff edge in May, if you're already there, it's the hope's not up for you. And let me pull some cards, because some of you might have already done this. Oh. Yes. I'm pulling cards to see what the solution for you is. Yes. Okay. So, If you already ended up in the oppression, if you missed, didn't get the message in time, didn't hear your own intuition, and ended up going over the cliff and into the gutter, you've got the Hanged Man in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. Okay. The Hangman in reverse here is saying to you that you, one, have to get yourself free, is what I'm feeling. So if you have got entangled in a situation, falling down, you have to free yourself. And part of that freeing yourself is by understanding the loop, the cycle, the pattern that leads you to destruction. That's what it is. In my my full moon message on my Instagram page on May 29th, I talked about the devil inside, and that's what it is for you, Aries. It's like with the Hangman card, it's like you must see the part of yourself, like you must surrender into the situation. Don't into like, okay, so many messages are coming through and finding it hard to articulate. Okay, so here it is. The Hangman, if it were upright, would be about surrendering and understanding the pattern, the cycle, getting revelation. In reverse, it's a refusal to do that. It's wriggling on this thing, it's trying to get out, but it's saying if you found yourself in the rut already, if you found yourself gone too far down the road to perdition, then you need to surrender, stop, even in the uncomfortable place, because you have to understand what it is inside you. Who is the devil inside you that makes you do that makes you run in that direction? If you don't, when you get out, you'll be straight back, karmic loop. The King of Cups is also saying that you need to gain emotional security, stability, composure, okay? You don't have it. If you're in the rut, you need to, this is the healing, this is the medicine for you. Find that center, rein the emotions in, okay? Use them as a platform to build on, not as something that's just going crazy like electricity sparking. You know what's sparking electricity right now? You want to repair the circuits by being composed within yourself. Yes, you might be in a situation where it feels like the jaws of hell are snapping at you. You fell over, okay? Yes, you might be there in this shadowy place. You might be there, but you need to compose yourself. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. That's a biblical scripture. You might have gone into the shadow of the valley of death, Aries, but you need to find the comfort, King of Cups here, the emotional center. Comfort yourself. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Intuition, guidance, higher learning, Sagittarius energy. Learning, be comforted by learning in that experience. If those of you who have not quite gone, if you're pulling the brakes right now, here's the advice for you for June. 10 of Swords is ahead. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. You do not go this far into the path of darkness, Aries. Don't do it. Ace of Cups, there is an emotional renewal. There are blessings, there's unconditional love. There are things to gain from where you are, but you must commit to them. King of Wands here. This is your energy, and this is you being responsible. The King of Wands is probably maybe the more lascivious, or maybe once has the roving eye, I personally think, of all the kings. But ultimately, even if he has passions and desires to do other things, he has made this commitment to be on this throne, to rule this domain, to deal with these responsibilities. And the reading for you is saying, don't go running away from where you are right now. Don't. A path will open. You will be able to move and expand, Aries. But right now, there is a blessing where you are, and you have to commit to your responsibilities of being there and doing that thing, okay? Do it, stay, commit. You're growing here. You're growing. Don't lose all the growth or the investment that you've had from where you are by just running to something else because you're uncomfortable. Aries, I hope that resonated. If you need a personal reading, it's NicoleBlack.com/services. Please do like, share, subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram, Leona Nicole Black. This has been your May/June reading. I will see you for July. I love you, Aries. Mwah.